First off, Ronan, congratulations on the season so far. You're
Yeah,
playing mighty stuff and you're playing
yeah,
really
no,
well.
it's going well. Still a long way to go now. League campaign. We've been playing some good stuff, getting some good results. Combining it with the European stuff. So, no, at the minute we're happy, but like I said, it's a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, like, just you're being modest there now, but like it's an 8-game winning run. You know, you're a tie away from European group football. You're top of the domestic league. Life is pretty good as a Rovers player right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you work tremendously hard. I think it comes down to the strength of the squad as well, being able to combine playing league football with European football Thursday to Sunday. And it shows the strength of the squad. Managers able to make changes, players come in, do the business. And it gives the manager a headache as well because big matches coming around and everybody's vying for positions. But I'm sure he wouldn't have it any other way. But no, as a group, collectively, we work tremendously hard for each other. So at the minute, things are going well. So, but a few big games coming up. So we need to, make sure we don't drop our standards. And like I said, you're only a big couple of weeks. Things can unravel very quickly if you're not careful.
And considering your form, Ronan, you must be thinking, bring it on ahead of this Flora Tallinn tie.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. There's a lot of travelling, a lot of football, but if it was another club doing it, it's not being in them positions where you're looking at other clubs and you're jealous. So, like I said, you wouldn't have it any other way. It's great to be involved in big games. So no, it's not easy. You know what I mean? We're not taking anything for granted. This side are really, really good side. We'll do, we've started our research on them. And we'll treat them with the same respect as we treat every opposition. That's the way the manager is, right down through the squads. No egos, nothing like that. It's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah, talk to me more about them, Ronan. What do you know about them? Where are their strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, we've watched a bit of them yesterday. We've got some footage on them. So they look very energetic. They look a young, fit, strong side. I played against them actually 10 years ago. So I don't think there's many players left from back then. But
you feeling old?
Yeah. So no, they've a good infrastructure, good stadium, obviously a well-established club, and they're in the same position as us. They're going to be vying for this Europa League Conference Group, European group football. It's massive, I'm sure, for a club like them as well. So it's certainly not going to be easy tie. And they look at top side. We watched the game against from the previous round yesterday, and they definitely won't be an easy game.
Yeah, and you have experience, Ronan, you mentioned there, of playing in Europe, the likes of yourself and Sean Gannon too. Surely that's an advantage heading into this time.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you look around the squad, you've got senior internationals, you've got players that have played at the highest level, and that will all give us an additional benefit, I suppose, coming into a game like this. You try and prize out every element of experience you can, because it's a game over two legs, and you've got to be patient. You've got to make sure you stay in the tie, whatever it takes to get through over the two legs. You tap into whatever experience you can. We've got a good group. But like I said, I think the power within the group is the squad. It's going to be a tough couple of games. But you look at the power of the squad, I think is a really big asset for us.
Considering you pushed Slovan Bratislava so close over the two legs and beat them in one of the legs, does that give you a lot of confidence heading into Thursday night? And are you guys favourites, do you think?
I'm not sure about the favourites. I'm not sure about that tagline. But yeah, definitely, I think you can look at the Bratislava game as a game where you're up against supposedly higher level of opposition, and you match them. I think we the game away, we probably as a team, we maybe on the day we probably didn't hit the highs that we could have. But when we brought them back to Tal, I think we definitely surprised them, and I think they definitely respected us. By the end of that game, they knew they'd come through a tough game, and it was unfortunate how we went out. But we learned from that, and playing in Albania last week in the home leg before that, I thought over the two legs, I thought we had a better side and deservedly went through. this now will bring in another level of opposition. They look a fit, strong side. So we've got to have to be prepared for them, because what's online is financially for the club it's big. For us as players playing in group stage of football, I suppose these are what you remember when you retire.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Ronan, actually, you are on the cusp of European football, group stage European football, and that's a huge deal for football here, as you well know. You've been there before, but it doesn't happen that often. So what would it mean for you and for the players if we were to achieve that?
Yeah, it is. It's like, obviously I've been lucky enough to be in a couple of campaigns, and it's what you remember, to be honest. When you retire, these big European nights are great. It's just obviously be unbelievable to have Tallaght, full capacity and the energy from the crowd. Hopefully we'll get even more numbers through the doors than last week, which would be brilliant. With restrictions being lessened, so that would be massive for us as players come the game next week in Tallaght. But they're fabulous nights. Like I said, when you look back in your career, they're definitely standout moments. And for fans, you know what I mean? You ask fans from Belgrade 2011 what it meant to them. It meant just as much to them as it did to us as players. And it's but you have to get there. It's not easy. But like I said, we prepare. We prepare for this game like we would any league game. We'll do our homework. We'll do as much as we can on them, because it could be that bit of detail that gets you through the tie, whether it's set pieces, anything like that. Any bit of information, the manager, the staff, they cover every base and give us all the info we need. But it's basically comes down to us on the pitch as players. We've got to do the job.
Just final couple of questions, Ronan. This is more of a general question. You've been in the game a while now. You have experienced European action. Do you think that the gap between the League of Ireland teams and the teams that qualify regularly for European group stage action, do you think that gap is closing slightly, or is there work to be done? Is there more investment needed?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I think I think you look at this year, for example, between ourselves, Dundalk, Bohemians, there's been really good results in the European football, and I think that will only help then the coefficient. Each club will get points, which will help in turn next year when draws are being made. I think it all depends on a bit of luck in the draw as well, whether you're seeded, whether you're unseeded, and results thus far will help that. But you're going to be coming up against, if you get drawn like us last year against AC Milan, a European giant, I mean, you're going to be up against it. So I think the draw is always like, if you get a bit of luck in the draw, you have a chance. But I think, I'd fancy us, against a lot of sides throughout Europe. You look at Bratislava, probably, bigger budget than us, bigger stadium, better infrastructure. But when it comes down to a pitch, there was nothing in it. In the game in Tallaght, we were slightly unfortunate maybe to go out. So, listen, we've done a lot of work though over the last few years to be in this position. It's definitely not been easy. The managers, recruited brilliantly. We've worked tremendously hard, as I said, to be in this position. And I think winning the league gives you the champions route to allow you maybe to play maybe a seeded team versus an unseeded team, and then that's down to the draw. If you get a little bit of luck with the draw, it gives yourself a chance.
And just final one, you mentioned him there, Ronan, the manager, Stephen Bradley. What kind of effect has he had since he's joined the club? He's obviously slightly rocky patch in the early days, but he's really brought the club on, hasn't he? What kind of effect would you describe he's had?
I just think tactically, he's just brilliant. I mean, his depth of knowledge in the game is as best as I've seen, to be honest. His attention to detail, like the work he does behind the scenes, no one else would see. I would see, the players would see. And to be honest, we're lucky to have him. But it's like I said, it's not just this game. It'll be every game we do as players. We want for nothing. If we ask for something, it's there for us. So no, this game, I mean, we'll do every bit of research that's possible. I'm sure that he'll look into contacts within the game. If he can get some extra information on them, we will do that. But no, I mean, the style of football we play is down to him. It's been branded into us since day one, really, since I came back. He's instilled this belief in us, and he's got players in now to be really, really competitive every week, whether that's in the league, whether that's in Europe. And like I said, we're lucky to have him. So hopefully we can do the business for him on Thursday.
Yeah, and just finally, I mean, he was linked with the MK Dons job there recently. Were you afraid that you would lose him? Or did he address the speculation amongst the squad either?
No, he didn't address it. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure too much about it. Wasn't brought to us as players. I suppose as players, where our job is to perform for him, whether it be Friday night in the league, whether it be Thursday night in the Europa League, and that's our job as players. And thankfully, he's still here with us, as I said.
Yeah, well, look, best of luck on Thursday, Ronan, and for the second leg. And best of luck for the season ahead. Fair play to you, playing well, so keep it up.
Thank you. Cheers. See you now.
Cheers, man.